Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Dimitri Johnson, and you're listening to MMALatestNews.com.
It's time to roll, baby.
Yes, everyone, what's going on? This is MMA Latest. My name is Stephen Howson, joined by Andreas. We are going to be previewing Bellator Newcastle. This is a bit of a banger, isn't it?
Bit of a banger.
Bit of a banger.
Are we talking top to bottom? It's not a bit of a banger top to bottom.
There's a couple of bangers then.
There's a couple of bangers. I will agree with that statement. Love a good banger. And that main event, Ryan Scope, Patricky Pitbull, I will completely agree. Banger central. Absolutely a banger. Ryan Scope, the former BAMMA lightweight champion. He came to Bellator early last year, in fact, when the athletes from BAMMA started to make that transition before BAMMA.
Y'all got jacked, mate! Everyone wanted you got stole. Sorry.
Bit by bit until goodbye. And Patricky Pitbull, look, proven name, former title challenger. It's a great main event, and I think they've made a statement. It's their first of the European series as well.
Pitbull's been in with some absolute legends of the MMA game. Do you think he's got the level to be the Bellator king? Do you think he can really do it against someone like Scope?
Look, where the belt is right now, Brett Primus, we know he has to fight Michael Chandler, who I guess linearly has been one of the main guys for Bellator. I like to look at this as a title eliminator as such. And it's interesting because, look, Scope has not stepped up to that level yet. We've seen him at that European level, the kind of mid-tier level. He beat Labute. Usmanov, I believe he beat an ACB when he debuted there. He's fought some decent names, but
this is the problem when you come from your BAMMAs and your Cage Warriors and stuff like that. You can put together a right run, but you don't know what's behind the run. Sometimes the run can be a Conor McGregor style run where you pop in and then you just go brrr, like right through the whole division. You go, oh my god. Or you might have fought cans. You might have fought people that was over-egged, well matched, should we say?
Of course.
And this is the problem. Until you get into the very higher echelons of Bellator or into the UFC's divisions, you don't really... I mean, even sometimes in the UFC division, you don't really know what someone's about until they start finding tasks and finding matches where they're getting beat. And then you go, that's his level. What's his level?
We've got to find out levels. But let me ask you, Stephen, is this one level too soon for Ryan Scope? Are we going to bury him before we even begin? The first of the European series, one of the guys who people can tout as a future big British name in Ryan Scope. Are we throwing him to the wolves?
No, I don't think we are. I think that with the experience that he's got... BAMMA's not a smoker. BAMMA's not like a little nightclub sort of event. BAMMA's a decent show. There are some cans that end up on BAMMA. There's some cans that... It's a fact. It's a factual statement. But there's also some top level fighters that come out of there and then go on to greater things. Scope could be one of those guys, and he hasn't stepped into the UFC. He steps into Bellator, which is a level down from there. We all know it's a level down for there, and I think that he's going in and he's going to be competing against people, and we are going to find out exactly where his level is. Do I think there's a potential future superstar in there? I don't think so, but I think there's a very good fighter that could have an excellent career in it. I definitely think that's true.
Absolutely, and it's always been the question with which Ryan Scope is going to show up on the night. Is it going to be the super focused, super talented, driven Ryan Scope, or just sometimes we've seen him in the past not quite on his game, not quite on the form?
Bit meh.
But he's pulled it out though. He's still pulled it out of the bag. The only one fight, Lou Long, and that was, we know there's a lot of different circumstances there.
And Lou Long's no mug.
Exactly.
At the top and bottom of it, like Lou Long is absolutely no mug. Now there is another fight which is probably selling most of the tickets for this damn thing, and
I'd imagine more than most of it.
This is a guy that I actually thought was doing the CM Punk thing, and I am well wrong. Aaron's legit.
As legit as a 4-0 guy can be. I completely agree.
Aaron's legit. Aaron's legit, and he isn't fighting cans. He is being well matched, and he's stepping up to it. Aaron is legit. Fair play to him, because I thought reality TV star. There's more that are trying to step into this world. There's DJs and entertainers all over the place that are finding themselves with pro deals, and probably because they're selling tickets, are going to get a couple of easy fights, which is what I definitely thought the case was going to be with Aaron Chalmers. I don't think that's the case, and I think he's legit. Is he UFC quality? No, he's 4.
No.
He's 4 fights into a professional career. Let's see what he's like after 10 or 12. and then we might have a guy that could do that, you know.
Absolutely. Look what he did at Bellator 200 against Ash Griffiths. Choked him unconscious with that standing guillotine. It was really nice. I know there's people trying to say it's fake. Shut up. Go home. Aaron Chalmers, 4-0. He's doing well. And I'm happy for the guy because it seems like he wants to be here. He wants to progress. So when people say, who the fuck is Corey Browning? Well, Corey Browning is the man who beat the man. He beat Kimbo Slice Jr., who that was the guy that Aaron was aiming towards, moving towards.
That was a bit of a Hollywood fight as well, wasn't it?
Kimbo Slice Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
A little bit.
There's a little bit of a fight. So, who's he fighting next? Do you think that like, Mike Jackson's got a name on the back of fighting Punk and Gal, right? Do you even want to see him fighting someone like Mike Jackson?
I think it's going to happen.
Do you reckon?
Yeah. I think if he gets through Corey Browning, then that's one of the fights to make. If he loses to Corey Browning, maybe Kimbo Slice Jr. fight does happen. But, you know.
CM Punk?
Look, I don't know what's going on with the UFC, but if he's available and Bellator can give him a deal, then why the hell not?
I'm sure he must be available. But I don't know whether the UFC would be allowing him to move to somewhere like Bellator to give him that sort of exposure that he would undoubtedly
I think that's the one reason why he's probably still under some form of contract, is to stop Bellator taking him.
What must be mental is, I bet his contract absolutely embarrasses 99% of the fighters that are on there. And he's shite. He is so shit.
Say it how it is, Howson.
He's shit, mate.
Yeah.
He's proper shit.
Nah, he is pretty bad.
He's proper
Are
shit.
you better? That's the question.
I'd fuck him up.
I won that fight more than Aaron Chalmers. I'll tell you that. Look, we don't know where he's going to go. Let's do it. Look, we don't know where Aaron Chalmers is going to go, but we know, look, he is a big name that Bellator are investing in. Yep. He is one of the major names for this card, probably more so than the main event as well.
And he's way more legit than CM Punk. Just the route in that he's had has proven that he's more legit. Is he fighting people as good? Maybe. Like, we don't really...
You know what? Yeah. Probably.
Yeah, we don't really know what the level, like we said earlier, we don't really know where the level of these guys is until you start seeing them getting beat. And all we've seen with CM Punk is this guy getting beat. Yeah. He's fucking shit.
Look, Aaron Chalmers, that's the story there. The rest of the card, you did say a few bangers, and I will completely agree with you. You got Terry Brazier, the former welterweight and lightweight champion in BAMMA, going against Chris Bungard, a decent guy, decent fighter. You've got Fabian Edwards, now that's a name for the future, against Lee Chadwick, former Cage Warriors champion.
Edwards is sick, and Lee Chadwick is legit as well. So this is a really good domestic fight, and to be honest,
major test.
Yeah, they're kind of throwing two really good fighters that they could build something out of here to the fire a little bit here. They're not gonna ruin one of them, but they could have gone around this, I think.
But they're hedging the bets on Fabian, mate.
I'm sure
that's what they're doing.
Yeah, Chadwick's been around for a long time, so I'm sure that's exactly what they're doing. But this is a good fight with. If Edwards comes through it, then you know you've got something legit. If Chadwick comes through it, you might have killed one of your top prospects. But that guy then needs moving into higher echelons of the promotion, I think.
But that's the test he needs. Like, look who he's fought. No offense to like Claudio Conti, for example, but you know he needs that name on his resume, and I think Lee Chadwick provides that for him. Yeah,
this is a good fight. This has got the potential to be the best fight on the card. I think out of the three main ones that we're talking about, this is probably the highest level of the fights. I think that's on this card, and this is one where you're probably going to see. Probably only if it's Edwards, let's be honest with ourselves, but you could really see someone go on and have a major career. This is a big test for Edwards.
It's a big test, and I think if he wins, we go to Birmingham with him in the headline later this year.
Yes, about time and all, that we can have some real, genuine... I mean, this is a good card in Newcastle. We all know the reason it's being held and sold in Newcastle. But yeah, there's a lot of really good fighters in the UK that should be getting this love. Edwards is one of them.
Yeah, so it's a good card. What we're predicting, do you think that this is going to set the stage for Bellator this year, or do you think that actually there is a potential there that they can come out stinking a little bit?
No, I think this is a free hit for them. They're going to put on a couple of really good fights. The hometown boys probably going to get the W. That's going to leave everyone in a good mood. You're going to see a really banging fight between Edwards and Chadwick. Whatever comes out of that, they need to get behind properly then, because as we've already discussed in the past when we're talking about what's going on with MVP and with Daly, they've screwed us there.
Yeah.
Big time. Whether they intended to or not, we've been screwed, and that's the end of it. Bellator has got a real chance to make a run at the UK market, make it yours, because the UFC don't give a shit about us. They give us one bone a year, like, there you go, have that, and then it's like a lot of random Russians because they're UFC Europe fighters.
Yeah.
Make it British fighters. Put a British card on. Proper Brexit card is what they need to be sticking on. Loads of British fighters, loads of local talent. Let's build an audience around these guys, and let's really put on some top events because the fighters are here. And you know, this is irrelevant to this one, but the Brendan Luff name Paddy Pimblett thing, you could do a card of Manchester versus Liverpool. But whether them two are on it or not, there's enough fighters in both of those cities. Can you imagine the pay-per-view you can stick on? One in the cage, one in the crowd. It would be absolutely fire, mate. And that's what we need to do, is really focus and grow it. And forget about what's going on in Vegas. It's largely irrelevant for most of the fighters that we've got in the UK anyway. They don't need to be thinking about Vegas.
Actually promote these guys, then, mate. Actually promote them. Come on, go all in.
You're supposed to be. It's called promotion. Promote them. Christ.
Do it.
Fuck CM Punk. Thanks for joining.
Bye.
See you in the next one.